Hi, I'm Dennis D'Angelo, Executive Director of the Lifecycle Management Center, and I'd like to welcome you all to this little chat that we're going to give today with Chaplain Payne. I'll talk more about that, but the reason we're doing this event today is because we're quickly approaching the end of the year, and this is, with strong work priorities, this is the time of the year when anxiety and stress becomes the greatest, and we wanted to talk about that. So I've invited Chaplain Payne to come and talk with us today, and to talk about the resources that we can use to manage stress and anxiety. Now, Colonel Chaplain Payne, Joshua Payne, also serves as the 88th Air Base Wing Chief Chaplain, but he also doubles as our chaplain within LCMC. So we're really excited about having him here today. But first, I want to give you a little peek under the tent. He just recently received his PhD in philosophy with a specialty in counseling, and he's addressed issues on anxiety and stress. So he's the perfect person for us to have here today, and I'm looking forward to you to talk about some of the issues. I have a few questions I will ask him, and we'll talk about those things, and I'm looking forward to what you have to say, but also what things you can bring to the table for our folks with your whole staff and all that, so appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
So Chaplain Payne, anything that you would like to say as we start off before we get into the questions?
Mr. D'Angelo, it's just an honor to be here. It's an honor to serve our amazing the men and women of Wright-Patt and LCMC across the country, and so just honored to be here.
Well, it's great to have you, Chaplain. Let me tell you, I've worked with chaplains throughout my military career and my civilian career, and you bring a lot of great stability and help to the workforce. And so we'll try to ferret that out today with some questions. So these are some questions that were brought up over the course of the last year or so, and I'd like to go ahead. There's only about 3 of them, so we'll keep this pretty short. But the Air Force is always changing. So there's also the idea of reoptimization in the Air Force, and all that general guidance, and civilians are anxious about what happens. What things can we do? What things do you suggest that we do to bring down the anxiety in our lives when things are constantly changing?
Yeah. I think, first of all, to understand that anxiety is a very normal thing, a normal reaction, a normal emotion to feel, especially when there's a fear of what the future looks like. When there's that fear of the future, it's based on experiences in our past. And so usually when we start to experience higher anxiety, it's almost like the dashboard of our car tells us that perhaps the car's starting to overheat. And so that anxiety is an indicator that something is just not right. And so as we think about that and start looking back in our lives, say what part of our journey might this experience of stress be linking into? And so because our brain connects all these things together as one. And so that person that's experiencing anxiety, because perhaps whether it's organizational change, whether it's just life type of change, as our kids get older and move out of the house, our parents get older, we get older, life changes, and sometimes the anxiety about I don't know what the future looks like. And so to want to normalize that's a normal experience. And so part of the anxiety piece is, again, I mentioned going back to this might be a season, that anxiety might be indicating to us this is a season to seek help. That might be the urgency that we needed, because when everything's going well, we don't stop and look at the car and until the car is smoking, then perhaps we pull over and do something, right? But it's that opportunity that we have to say, okay, I am not where I need to be. What resources do I have to get me to where I want to be? And so I just want to encourage our folks as they're feeling that anxiety, again, don't just brush it away. This is an opportunity to step into that, to lean into that anxiety, and to find out what it's trying to tell us about our current situation.
Great. Let me jump on that a little bit more. So a lot of people will feel that they don't need outside help to help, and they will try to correct it internally. Are there things they could do to correct internally, and then when would it become apparent that they should reach out for help? Right. And that could be with you, that could be with me, that could be with work partners as part of that help.
Absolutely. So I think, first of all, to know what our own tendencies are, right? And so when we think about the tendencies we have, when we get stressed, we're not the way we normally are. We find ourselves functioning in ways that in our normal world, it's not like us. And so when we start feeling like I'm not myself, It's because stress is doing something internally. And so if we don't know our tendencies, to reach out to someone that knows us well, whether that's a group of people, whether that's a family member, whether that's a workmate that's been with us for some time, to just to ask them, like, what are my tendencies? As teammates, if we know our staff, if we know our team well, we start to know when things are changing with them, and then ask that follow-up question. Hey, what's going on? You don't seem to be yourself today. Is there anything that we can do to be a help? So kind of know what our own internal tendencies are as a starting place. Once we know what those are, we usually have tendencies in a couple different directions. The first step is usually to try to seek to self-soothe. Mm-hmm. So anxiety, we want, the system is anxious. It wants to somehow soothe itself to get back to a place that is stable. And so negatively, that can look like addictive behaviors. We can find ourselves, perhaps eating too much, perhaps, going too much drinking, whatever those addictive behaviors that we use to try to ease that anxiety is very, very common. Another thing that we see with anxiety is that tendency to start avoiding people. And so there are times when there are certain people that perhaps we should avoid. Sometimes that anxiety, we want to start latching on to other people. That may not always be the most helpful. But when we start to see people wanting to avoid and remove themselves from people altogether, there's a certain spot where that can be troublesome. Because as a species, we are not lone species people. We have to be connected with other people in a meaningful way.
Super. I'm going to add one thing on to that, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir.
So if you're a leader, or even if you're just a teammate, know the folks around you. I think that was extremely important what you brought up there, because knowing your workmates, knowing the team that you're with and everything really has a big difference in being able to ferret out the anxiety. I know that many times when I work in groups and we have high pressure situations of trying to answer something very quickly and all that, even though we're a very functional team, you can start to see where people start to fall off because of the anxiety that brings on. And as a leader or even as a team member, you don't have to be the assigned leader to get them through that.
Yes.
We can take some steps to help alleviate that stress. So what things could we do to help alleviate stress as work partners, or where can we reach out for other places that we could get help?
It's a great question. First of all, I would encourage folks to look for communities to connect with. Mm-hmm. As a society, we used to be connected, meaningful in villages or in communities where everyone knew everybody. In our military context, in our civilian, we move around so much that we don't always have that rich community that we can reach back to. And so we tend to have fewer people in our community connections group than ever before. And so sometimes it's our extended family. Sometimes the problems in life, the stressors are coming from the extended family. And so sometimes it's more the nuclear family that we have, the people around us. And so whatever that is, to not do that alone. To not find ourselves being all alone, but connect with communities of that share in the same interests. Whether if it's an exercise, shameless plug for our Air Force Marathon team. We've got amazing force support folks here to get involved with tennis over at the tennis center, over at the golf, to find ways to connect and things that are meaningful to you. And so for me, I'm a Southern Baptist pastor. And so what is very, very important to my dealing with stress is that connection with my faith community. Because in that faith community, we bear each other's burdens. Mm-hmm. We're able to connect with each other in meaningful ways. And so to me, I find that very, very helpful to go and to connect with people in my faith community.
That's super. It's kind of a respite, right?
Yes,
you need a place to go that is something that's special to you, that takes you away from the stressful situation.
Yes,
you can't always do that sometimes when you're in a conflict. You can't always do that when you're in a group or something like that, but you can always find time when you're a little bit away from that to take that respite that allows you to kind of ease the anxiety in whatever it is. I know people use hobbies, I know they run, and I know they also have their faith communities that they get with. So what would be some good resources that we as teammates, leaders, or those suffering through stress could use to help us get through those stressful situations or the anxieties that occur in our lives?
Knowing our resources is really essential. And so a couple things, again, I like to do the shameless plugs thing. So we've got an amazing integrated resiliency office. Dr. Tyree and his team to be able to connect folks from all walks of life to any resource that they need. And so I'll mention, all of these, you'll find them in Building 219. So in Area A. In fact, if you come over, if you know where the Arnold House is and the golf course, there's a 3-story building right across the street. And if you're calm as you're coming to the building, you'll see Greg the groundhog, who is our official greeter. And so he will welcome you. Tell him Chaplain Payne sent you, and he'll welcome you right into Building 219. But all the helping agencies all live and exist in Building 219 now. So our SARC, we have the Integrated Resiliency Office, we have the Wright-Patt Connect, we have the chapel team, so the chaplain core offices with our religious affairs, and our chaplains are right there in Building 219. And so in addition to the integrated resiliency, we in that same first floor of 219, we've got the employee assistance program. I got a chance to meet with some of the counselors last week. We've got a great team of folks that are eager to care for our civilian workforce. Military OneSource is an amazing resource as well. For counseling, mental health, the civilian health promotions. And so again, we've got a brand new facility here on Area B. And so they've got amazing classes where folks can get connected. So if you don't have to wait to your New Year's resolution to start new habits. And so we've got a great team over there. I already mentioned Wright-Patt Connect, but also the chapel. I mean, we've got 2 very robust communities with our Catholic community and our Protestant community. Currently, we're meeting over at the Prairies Chapel, just outside the base, and so that's a great opportunity to at least look into the faith community. If our teammates don't have chaplains from their faith community, connect with us. We have great resources in the community. We want to make sure that our teammates are able to connect with whatever faith community that they might have. And so just connect. Great resources, sir.
So, Chaplain, if you really didn't know what door to knock, how would you get into the system?
A couple things I'd encourage you. Number one, if you're here at Wright-Patterson, please stop in Building 219 over in Area A, and there is no wrong door in that building. We will take care of you. Second is the Air Force Connect app. Has a great connections to whatever bases our LCMC family might be located in. That's a great app. Also through the command post. So if you're at Wright-Patterson, our command post number is 937-257-6314, and we have a chaplain on call 24/7. And for those of our teammates that are at other locations, call that command post, because that chaplain office also has on-duty chaplains to be able to support.
Well, thanks, Chaplain. You can certainly contact us, like you said,
Yes.
by email. You can also contact me by email as well, because we are here for you. We don't want you to go through stressful times. We've all been through those stressful times, so we know what they're like. We know how anxiety can affect us in our work and how we are at home as well. So we're here to help you get through that. So, Chaplain, I want to thank you for all that you and your staff do for our Material Command, as well as for the Life Cycle Management Center. And I want to thank all of you for taking time out of your busy day for this small chat with the chaplain. And thank you for all that you do, and thank you for all that you will do. We're here for you.